This podcast is for the ones who know they were rescued, but also know they were resent. Saved by grace, sent to live different. We're not rebelling against God, we're rebelling against everything that keeps us from Him. We'll talk faith, identity, purpose, leadership, and what it really looks like to follow Jesus in a loud and noisy world. We'll dissect scripture, we'll exposit it, we'll grow, and we'll stretch our faith. Welcome to the Daily Rebel. Welcome back. Day 7 of the Daily Rebel. We are diving into the book of James, and we are on the next part as we look at what it really means to ask God for wisdom. So here we go, verse 5. Now, if any one of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives to all generously and ungrudgingly, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith without doubting, for the doubter is like the surging sea driven and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord, being double-minded and unstable in all his ways. So we're going to talk about today the God who gives. You know, James is talking to a people who've been scattered, who are being persecuted, and he lets them know, hey, man, he wants you to be full, complete, lacking nothing. And then he goes right into, but if you lack wisdom, you're going to need wisdom to go through trials. And so here's how he sets the focus up. James, he doesn't just tell us what to do. He tells us who God is. This verse isn't mainly about just wisdom. It's about character and of the God who gives it. You see, James describes God with 3 loaded phrases in this text: generously, to all, without reproach. And then he makes a bold promise: it will be given. That's not motivational language, man. That's theological confidence. When you can have so much faith that God can actually give it to you, and even if it doesn't come immediately, maybe over the course of a few days, few years, whatever it is, you go to the Lord without hesitation. So number 1, write this down, 3 things. The rule of 3. Number 1, God gives generously. He doesn't give reluctantly. So James says that God gives generously. That word means freely, abundantly, and without hesitation. You see, God, he doesn't ration wisdom. He doesn't or ration wisdom. He doesn't drip feed guidance. He doesn't give just enough to survive. Think about moments when you're facing a hard decision, you know, maybe a relationship that's complicated or a job choice that feels heavy. You see, it's a season maybe where you don't know what step comes next. Can't tell you how many times I've been there when I've wondered that. And God is not sitting in heaven withholding clarity. He is ready to give direction. That's why he's our good shepherd, our counselor, our advocate, our father. So you don't have to, listen, remember this, God gives like a father. So, and he's not a gatekeeper. You don't have to convince him. You don't have to perform for him. That's not the gospel. You don't have to prove you deserve it. Redeemed rebels, man, we don't beg for scraps. We ask boldly because our God is generous. So number 1, God gives generously. He doesn't give reluctantly. And number 2, another thing we see this, and he says, ask God. Number 2 is this: God gives without shame or reproach. He gives without shame or reproach. So James says God gives without reproach. That means he doesn't shame you. He doesn't lecture you. Again, he doesn't bring up your past. Some of us hesitate to ask God for wisdom because he thinks he's tired of us asking the same questions. Like, remember the story Jesus tells about the woman, this persistent widow that won't stop knocking on the judge's door for justice. And he says, because of her impudence or because of her annoyance, I answer the door. We think God is saying, you again? I already told you this. You should be further along by now. Once again, that's in the text. But that's not God's voice. See, that's shame. God corrects. He doesn't condemn. He teaches. He doesn't shame. And when you come to God confused, he doesn't push you away. He welcomes you in like the good father that he is. So, hey, redeemed rebel, listen, don't avoid God because of guilt. Run to him because of his grace. That's the beauty of the gospel. I don't run away and I don't avoid God because of my guilt. I bring it to the Father. And here is number 3. God's promise is certain. It's not conditional. So number 1, God gives generously, not reluctantly. God gives without shame or reproach. And number 3 is God's promise is certain. It's not conditional. So James doesn't say maybe it'll be given. He says it will be given. When we think about Solomon, David's son, who prayed and asked to be the wisest man, to have all the wisdom, God blesses him with it. I mean, did he kind of squire sometimes? Did he jack it up sometimes? Did he mess it up times? Well, 100%. Yeah, because he's human. He's broken. But it says he will be given. That's a promise, not because you're consistent, but because God is. Wisdom isn't a mystery prize, y'all. It's a promise provision. God doesn't play games with guidance. He doesn't hide wisdom like a scavenger hunt. Lord have mercy, I hate scavenger hunts. I hate mazes. But when you ask in faith, God responds in faithfulness. That means when you pray, you can expect direction. You may not get the full map, but you'll always get the next step. It's like Kobe Bryant, rest his soul, once said, when you look at the top, when you're trying to climb Mount Everest, you don't look at the very top, because you'll be intimidated by it. How you get to the top of Mount Everest is one climb, one step at a time, one foot in front of the other. So here's the rebel close. The hesitation isn't on God's side. It's on ours, because he's ready to give generous. He's ready to be gracious. He's ready to be faithful. So stop hesitating. Stop assuming God is annoyed. Stop believing he's holding out on you. Just ask boldly, ask humbly, ask confidently, because redeemed rebels trust this truth. God gives generously. God gives without reproach, and God keeps his promises. And when you ask, wisdom will be given. We'll see you tomorrow on The Daily Rebel. Thank you for listening to today's episode. Before you go, if you want to help other people be equipped to be redeemed rebels, give us a follow and share it around with your friends. We'll see you next time.